All injured here, 3v3, Argus Desert Gate. Blue team, couple of Eldar players. First up, Colinmark is a Warlock melee commander that leaps into combat, some awesome disruption and mobility, can also tank damage pretty well, and has a few offensive spells there. You see Fleet. The other Eldar player is Unsullied on the opposite side of the map as a Warp Spider Exarch teleporting commander that fights range combat by default. Lots of great capping and harassing with some awesome control abilities also. And riding off the blue team is FiSH, playing a Ravener Alpha tunneling commander, great mobility and some awesome offense. Starts off in range combat, a little bit of support as well, can build a support structure. Red team, a couple of Chaos players. First up, Brickus is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of great manipulation and control abilities. Starts off in melee combat, taking shots here from that Ravener Alpha's ranged weapon. Alongside Sataninflames is a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with this damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons some decent utility, and support can build turrets and repair, but it's very slow. And rounding off the red team is bountyhunter571 on the western lane, up against that Warlock, playing an Inquisitor. There's the Hammer of the Witches, boom! Some great control abilities. Starts off in melee combat but can get ranged weapons, a little bit of support as well. Now chasing down that Warlock, here come Howling Banshees. She needs to be careful, as does that Warlock. And now Banshee's on her, that's a good special attack. She should use that to back away, but she's not. She's in massive amounts of trouble, she's going to go down. No way she's getting out of there. Special attack just to make sure, and down goes the Inquisitor in first engagement. Sloppy play from Bounty Hunter, a bit too aggressive with their Inquisitor there. East side, meanwhile, blue team have pushed back the Reds because Sataninflames was mid, but now is coming in to help out. Heretics should not be moving in here. Not sure, he may not have known that those double Dire Avengers were there waiting, but those Heretics are done for. Dire Avengers caught in retreat, but looks like they are going to get away. Because Space Marines forcing melee combat on Termagants as they should be. And he's getting a lot of kills here, Sataninflames. Plague Champion already leveling to 2. Lost his Heretics, but they were a default Heretic squad, so not the end of the world. Can he get that last Dire Avenger? Damage over time from the bolter, really good at killing retreating models, but looks like they do get away. Chaos Space Marines trying to cap under attack from the Warp Spider Exarch. Here come Warmogods, need to be careful. These Chaos Space Marines should be moving in for melee combat. They did it a bit too late there. Could have finished off the squad, and this other squad should have been forcing melee as well. Those Warmogods should consider themselves lucky for getting away. Ravener Alpha forcing melee combat. In fact, he has the Krypton Talon, which is a melee weapon. That means he doesn't have a ranged weapon any longer. As you can see, this is basically a debuffing weapon. Reduces speed and damage, and that will affect vehicles, I'm pretty sure, which can be awesome. He goes down in retreat though, thanks in part to this Plague Champion who does retreat out. Really aggressive tunnel play here. Look at this, behind the red team's enemy lines. Another tunnel here, getting good use out of those tunnels so far. Chaos Space Marines shooting the crap out of this Warp Spider Exarch. He's gonna go down. Wow, Unsullied just went blank there. Did not teleport out, did not retreat out, did not move. Just loses his Warp Spider Exarch to melee combat from the Chaos Sorcerer, who does now have the Sword of Flame. You saw it there. Does damage over time and also gives you the coruscating flame. I think he should have just backed off these Dire Avengers. Got a decent grenade there. Coruscating flame on his Chaos Space Marines now. Pretty good way to make your Heretics even more dangerous in melee combat with their aspiring champion. Put coruscating flame on them. Chaos Sorcerer caught out of position. That's a good flank from FiSH. He must have got out of this tunnel, I suppose. Chaos Space Marines now caught in melee combat with Hormagaunts who have their adrenal glands, making them pretty damn dangerous to Marine squads in Tier 1. What's going on west side? There is the channeling runes being used on the Howling Banshees. As you can see, the Warlock is unable to move for the duration, but he can still use his ranged attack, which is a psychic lightning type thing. Now a power harass. Sentinel just about getting away there. Tier 1 vehicle with heavy armor, so will take a lot of damage from power weapons, which is what these Howling Banshees wield. He's going to turn and bash power there. So I mean, a resource lane is really important in Tier 1. Can set your tempo for your entire team getting into Tier 2 and onwards. if you can control this lane early on. So colinmark doing a good job for his team so far. Dire Avengers fleeting forward. Now the Howling Banshees working on a generator. Still, these guys don't have a mark yet, these Howling Banshees, and they've lost the model. East side kicking off. Double grenades on the heretics. Boom, boom. These guys with an aspiring champion need to be careful. Aspiring champion is a Chaos Marine, as you see there. Turns them into a detector unit and a pretty damn good melee unit. He needs to back these guys off. He's going to lose his squad. Puts Coruscating Flame on them, but for what reason? He loses them, and those guys had an aspiring champion. A misplay there from Brickus. Some misplays all around, really, with the commander losses and some of the model and squad losses. But it's kind of evening out. Everyone's doing them, apart from FiSH, who has started strongly. Unsullied has a Guardian Weapon team, as does colinmark. He gets another Dire Avenger squad as well. Shuriken might want to turn and engage that Sentinel. This is my one problem with this map. This west side, which is dominated by these walls, gives a huge advantage to a player that can crush those walls in tier 1, which is what you can do with a Sentinel. Look, you just flank in. You're not safe. Guardsman with a flamer. Crossbow bolt pistol up on the Inquisitor will help her control those Howling Banshees and indeed the Warlock if she so desires, but she should wait until channeling has been used on the Banshees, I think, and then use that crippling volley shooting up these Dire Avengers. Now it is a pretty decent ranged weapon. She's going to finish off the squad, and does colinmark, not paying attention to those new Dire Avengers at all. Here comes a big flank though by FiSH, and he's going to be able to melee this heavy weapon team. Well, he should be anyway, but he's going after Guardsman instead. Sends the Warrior Brood after the heavy weapon squad. There you go. And these guys can leap into combat. There it is. But because these guys were in retreat, they weren't knocked over. They would have been, which is a pain in the arse, especially if you're not a melee squad. Getting knocked over at the start of close combat can be a death sentence. East side, Chaos Space Marines with a turn of war for Brickus. And Raptors on the field for Brickus also. These are Sataninflames heretics with an aspiring champion and grenade launchers. He replaced the squad he lost early on. Double CSM. He's gone for double Mark of Khorne. Look at this. Both these guys level 2 as well. Gives them these chain axes, which are power melee weapons, and plasma pistols, and the aspiring champion will get a melter pistol. Also increases their speed on foot and their health. Raptors are a jump troop, and there is a jump. They might eat a grenade swipe after that. As you can see, they suppress on land, which is a pretty nice trait that they have. Power being bashed pretty badly and decapped. And Webbreaker is going to go down, which gives a buttload of XP. Blue team now pushing through mid. Hormagaunt's capping, but he can't defend his power, and that is the big deal on this side. It's not really a big deal to lose this victory point early on. As long as you can pull back and hold your power, then all is well, really. But they haven't managed to do that on that side, blue team. That's why it's so important to stay in the field on this side. Just keep that field presence up. As long as you can, you don't need to kill stuff, just stop them from bashing your power. Raptors taking tons of damage. They have their aspiring champion queued up for tier 2. There's the jump again. And these Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines getting to work on those termagants. These guys can become pretty scary when they level up, and they're level 3 now. There's the aspiring champion. You can see his melter pistol, which does good damage to all targets. Bonus damage to super heavy infantry, which is what Terminators and stuff were. 464, 389. Blight grenades up for the Plague Champion. He's level 3 and has fetid armor. Shuriken cannon shooting the crap out of the Sentinel, can't be suppressed, but takes heavy damage as he gets close. That was actually a good play from Bounty Hunter. Kept it moving, got it out of the firing arc, and now the Inquisitor gets to work on the Guardian team, and they are forced to retreat. Bounty Hunter not getting a tier 2 unit. He's floating a lot of resources. Could go tier 3 here. And where is the repair support? There we go. Plague Marines on the way for Sataninflames. A late Howling Banshee squad for Unsullied, and colinmark went for the aspect of strength in the end. Really late Banshee squad. We'll see how he does with it. It's a risky play, I think, because we have Mark of Khorne kills Space Marines. Over here we have a Plague Champion which can do all sorts of nasty things to a Banshee squad, especially since he has fetid armor, could suppress with Unholy Stench and then throw his grenades. He's kicking off mid a bit, I think, is it? No, it's just a Revenant Alpha having a go at the Heretics. Has that crippling Talon, that debuffing melee weapon. Reinforced Chitin and strengthened Sinew. Nice build for this Revenant Alpha. We'll see how he does with it. That crippling Talon will debuff vehicles so he can slow them down and chase them with stuff. Your Venom Brood or whatever. Wraith Lord up for Unsullied. Bright Lance shoulder mounted. Really good anti-vehicle weapon, especially since he has very good accuracy on the move. 100% I believe even. That massive Ghost Glaive sword, as they are called now. Smacked. Plague Marines caught in retreat. There's the Death Explosion which knocks down and damages those Howling Banshees. Evenly distributed though, they didn't lose a model. 434, 362. They're very low on health now. Needs to be careful with them. Needs to back them off, I think. And there's stuff waiting for them if they were to try and retreat. Mark of Tzeentch on these Kill Space Marines because those Inferno Bolts, awesome, versus all types of infantry. 434, 351. West side kicking off. Some help over here now. Is there? No, still a 1v1 fight. colinmark has his own Wraith Lord. Warlock has gone down though. Is that the Merciless Witchblade I see? I think it is. colinmark now getting some Wraith Guard. Bounty Hunter going for a Manticore. Heavy artillery piece, can shoot vast distances, but you need to manually target each of those rockets. East side kicking off. Howling Banshees yelling their war shouts at the Kill Space Marines, making them run away. Raptors are going to get caught in retreat pretty badly here, I think. Or maybe not. Mark of Khorne, Kill Space Marines level 3 coming in and mopping up those Banshees in no time. And here is a Chaos Dreadnought taking shots with its autocannon on the Wraith Lord. Plague Marines also getting shots in. There is Dark Flames, global ability of the Chaos Sorcerer, trying to get some damage on those Tyranids who dodge it. And there is the Circle of Summoning, or Demonic Summoning is it called, which spits out these blood letters and allows Brickus to reinforce his units to Chaos Sorcerer globals in quick succession. This is a dead Wraith Lord. Very, very late trying to pull it out. It might not have got away in a way because Plague Marines were firing their snaring missile launchers at it. Unsullied now has a Dark Reaper squad. These guys shooting Inferno rounds, Inferno damage in a way. They have these kind of miniature missile launchers. They have Inferno damage though, much like the Mark of Tzeentch Kill Space Marines. Good damage to all infantry targets. We'll see if they can stay away from those Raptors though. Dark Reaper's really, really vulnerable to getting jumped. They will bleed you power and stuff. Wraith Guard over here on this side from colinmark. They have their Warlock leader, gives them Wraith Sight, which allows them to move quicker, as you see there. The Warlock and Farseer heroes will also give them Wraith Sight. Sentinel has the missile launcher, but it's getting chased down by a whole bunch of stuff. Now an autocannon coming into play. Can he wipe those Banshees with it? Almost does. Guardsman just about getting away. Wraith Lord is now forced melee combat onto those heavy weapon squad, which run away. The Sentinel lives. It might even finish off the Wraith Lord, and does. Those crack missiles finishing it off. Can freely switch between crack and frag missiles. Give you some pretty good versatility on your Sentinel. Heretics backing away. Level 2 for sataninflames. We have some Havocs up for Brickus, getting an autocannon. Robes of Torment up, and some Stormtroopers who have Bounty Hunter. And then he goes tier 3. In fact, everyone is tier 3 or going tier 3 apart from Brickus. Really light. Tier 2 from sataninflames, as you can see, only got Plague Marines and gets into tier 3 in very good time and can drop a nuke right now. Blue team continuing the pressure on this west side. Bounty Hunter has really struggled to deal with colinmark.
Our allies have lost the structure.
Red team now pushing forward on the east side, taking out that tunnel. Was that tunnel there the whole game? Heavy melee warriors jumping in. and then backing away. That's good usage of your warriors, getting that passive leap and then just backing off. Then retreats out. Not much they could do. It's hard for melee units to try and hold the line and have a controlled retreat out. Ranged units can back away, turn and engage, then back away, turn and engage. Down goes the Weber Gate. I think he needs to stop trying to put them up there because there's 2 aspiring champion heretic squads up there, which will spot it. Howling Banshees with their Exarch. She has the Executioner Spear on the left there, taken down a node. Can they decap it? Or are they going to eat a Manticore Strike to the face? Not seen one go off yet. That might be the remains of a Manticore Strike there. 378, 349. Sentinel shooting its frag missiles, and he completely loses his power here. Bounty Hunter, he's not doing a whole lot to stop it. Has some anti-vehicle kit, or anti-armor kit as it's called. Stormtroopers, gives them melter guns and a melter bomb. Can you get them into range though is a big question. Unsullied losing a lot on this east side then. FiSH, whoa, gets hit by a nuke from Sataninflames and lost a whole bunch of stuff. Looks like it completely demolished both of his Termagant Brews. He does have a Thornback Carnifex though, and a tier 3 Lictor on the way, can drop a nuke of his own. Also, Bounty Hunter can also drop his rocket run, which might allow him to push against colinmark. Look at the Plague Champion now helping out, throwing his grenades on those Banshees, which will infect your own units, as you can see here. But the Chaos Space Marine is at level 4 with Mark of Core, not too bothered. Over 2,000 hit points on this guys, and on a pretty mobile squad, that's not too bad. Reasonably mobile squad anyway. They should get a longer charge range, I think, or something, since they basically are the angriest melee squad. Going after the tunnel, taking it down, some free XP and a little bit of, oh, they can't get an XP, a little bit of red anyway. Raptors in trouble, gonna go down, no way they're getting out of that. Leaped on and eaten by Tyranids. Fire Prism, what's it doing? Just driving right into the blob and getting some friendly fire. Well done. Tier 3 for Sataninflames, but he's not getting anything in tier 3. Did he upgrade his Plague Champion? He did. He gave him the Plague Fist. 348, 349. East side being retaken by a blue team. It's very even though. Losses all over. Unsullied has now recovered with a Fire Prism. This Dreadnought still around. Getting a Marco Zinch was a good choice, I think. Try and deal with that Fire Prism quickly, and that's the Carnifex is there to be shot at as well, which now hits level 2. Over 2,000 hit points on this guy at level 2. Plague Champion uses his Pestilent Strike, which would have stunned those Banshees, but they dodged it pretty well there. Level 7 and Plague Champion throws his Light Grenades, doing serious damage to those Banshees. Good grief. Almost wipes them in fact. 348, 331. They also infect the rest of the army. Does it wipe them? 9 hit points on them. Very lucky to get away. Here is the tier 3 Lictor. A pretty awesome sub-commander, really. Heavy melee damage, Flesh Hook, Leak, and free infiltration. It really is a powerful melee sub-commander. 348, 319. 1-to-1 cap, Guardsman forced off. Being debuffed by the Crippling Talon. There is Crippling Volley though, which doesn't hit the Revenant Alpha. Doesn't hit any of them. That was pretty unlucky. Oh, I suppose, does she need to channel it? I don't think she does. 348, 319. There's the Chains of Torment. You see the remains of that pretty damn good Imperial Abyss from Sataninflames, who now has a Chaos Predator. He's played it quite well, Satan. With these Chaos Space Marines have done an amazing job, and we have a Mark of Nurgle Predator. Always nice to see these guys have that rotting shell shot, as you see there, does damage over time on the ground. Also have huge amount of health regeneration, and melee resistance aura, which makes a huge difference when you're being attacked by those scary heavy melee squads in tier 3 or tier 2 even in the case of Ogrins. Here come those Chaos Space Marines though, backed up by Brickuses, which are also level 4. And he has 2 level 4 Mark of Corn squads, Sataninflames. That's pretty scary. There's the frenzied barrage from the Tzeentch dreadnoughts. 2 carnifexes now for FiSH, and he has so much red. Not seen any capillary towers going up over here. 328, 319, I suppose he has the tunnels for mobility. They still buff you in other ways, those towers, the sight range and stuff. Plague Champion on his way to level 8. Can he get level 10 before this game is out? He might well do. Power Blades up for the Warp Spider Exarch. Often a really surprising source of anti-vehicle damage. Down goes the Fire Prism. You can teleport on rear armor of a tank, and sometimes you think, oh, it's just a Warp Spider Exarch, and he starts to absolutely own it. Carnifexes are these, one of them has a barb strangler in fact, and that thing is painful. It's like a plasma cannon that suppresses. 302, 319. Markov Nurgle Predator, not that effective versus vehicles already. The autocannon's damage is reduced to compensate for that damage over time on the ground. But it's doing its thing over there. And you see the Crippling Talon debuffing this Chaos Dreadnought. Bunch of stuff getting out. Can they capitalize? He's gone for a Seer Council over here, Unsullied. Not sure why he would go for that. They're going to get eaten alive by double Markov Khorne CSM, I would think. And lots of pressure over here for blue team to deal with. They're struggling on the east side. A Baneblade on the field for Bounty Hunter. Deal with that, colinmark. Does he have enough for a nuke? He almost does. FiSH is almost capped out of red. 273, 319. Cormagaunts are going to wipe. There we go. Chaos Predator getting a bunch of XP, trying to chase down this Carnifex. There is a capillary tower, but the speed buff won't affect that Carnifex, which is now level 2. And the other one also got away. Here it is. And we have a Venom Brood up, taking shots on the Predator tank, now getting some rear armor hits. But they are persuaded to leave. Down goes the power node. Red team need to be pushing mid and capping this VP. One of the players should be going mid and capping. Look at this. This is a waste of time. Just hanging around there. Ouch. Massive Mega Battle Cannon hit on those Banshees, but they get away again. Is that an Eldritch Storm? It is an Eldritch Storm on rear armor. And here comes a Lictor. Baneblade is now stunned, but a Lictor is forced off. It would have definitely finished off that Baneblade on rear armor, I think. Now the Fire Prism trying to get shots in, using its Focus Blast. Is it? Yes. Rear armor hit there. Can it finish off the Baneblade? Trying to move away. Boom. Even a Warlock trying to help out with its Merciless Witchblade. 79 hit points. One more shot. Down goes the Baneblade. Right Lance was there just in case. Well, here come Markov Khorne CSM level 4, finishing off the Fire Prism with help from the Manticore Strike. 216, 319. Red team have the east side locked down, but now they're camping a bit too much. No pressure on the mid at all. Oh, we do have a Chaos Predator here, but it's going to go down. Boom! Barb Strangler finishes it off with help from the Venom Brood. Bit sloppy there from sataninflames, and red team are really kind of mucking this up. They should have pressured mid way earlier. Eventually some stuff is coming here. Markov Khorne, Chaos Predator for Brickus, a really great all-round choice, buffing the damage of all of its weapons, especially those side-sponsored heavy bolters, which get a whopping 75% damage increase. The autocannon on top getting a 25% damage increase. 215, 304. colinmark continues to dominate the west side, despite a Baneblade. Ogren's now on the way. There is the remains of the Baneblade. Still has these anti-vehicle stormtroopers. And FiSH still capped out on red. Doesn't want to use his nuke yet. That's going to really help them push though, because there's a Nurgle shrine here now. This thing healing allies periodically and suppressing nearby enemies, and if you worship it, you can reinforce allied infantry there. And you don't need to worship it with your heretics. Your allied heretics can actually worship your shrine, which is a pretty good touch. If you have an allied shrine nearby, you can worship it with your own heretics to get the full benefits. 210, 298. What are these Seer Council trying to do? Just lost the model, then get chained. Are these guys going to be able to do anything at all? Maybe you should just send them to the mid to cap or something. The most expensive ninja cappers ever. Wraith Guard, level 1 for Unsullied, not going to do a whole lot. They have a really balanced army over here, red team. Lictor is forced to retreat. FiSH maybe should get a Doom of Malantai up. I think he should, because they need to scare off these really tough Chaos Space Marines somehow. 186, 298. Red team trying to push mid. Got Warrior Brood and Venom Brood chasing down those heretics, and they're forced to retreat. Double Carnifexes were there just in case, and there is a Capillary Tower. Raven Alpha getting caught by Michael Corn CSM. They really are doing some serious damage now. Don't have their aspiring champion. These guys, that would have been nasty if they didn't retreat. We're going to direct hit on all 3 models. Ogrin's moving in. Heavy melee squad that can disrupt. Well, there's an Avatar and a nice grenade, and they're forced off immediately. Manticore Strike misses. Colinmark is now the guy wasting time. He's got this west side locked down. He should have transitioned to mid much earlier, I think. 156, 298. Both teams making mistakes, not going mid quickly enough. Looks like blue team are starting to now. Well, FiSH, I think, is recognizing the fact that they need to push mid. Has both of these Carnifexes there. They're taking shots though from these Chaos Predators. Seer Council again forced to retreat. Wraith Guard getting a good volley though on these Chaos Space Marines. Can he get another one? Oh, they fire at the Predator instead. Warlock dropped on nothing in particular. Down goes the Predator. Those Chaos Space Marines needed to move in much earlier there. Can they get this Lictor though? I think they are going to get him. Special attack there, and down he goes. 132, 298. Blue team have pushed through the mid. Look at this, completely dominating the west side, completely dominating the mid. Red team really should have pushed mid, or at least helped out Bounty Hunter a bit more on this west side. Down goes that Venom Brood. Losses all around still. 132, 291. Can blue team come back here? Carnifex is going to get away, is it? To level 3 Thornback. Doesn't want to lose this guy. FiSH has lost a bunch of stuff last few minutes. Has another Carnifex on the way. Oh, he's going after the Manticore, but he's in base turret territory now. Needs to run away. FiSH really is losing concentration here at the end of the game. 132, 276, and that might cost the blue team. Red team now mid with a bunch of stuff. Some Chaos Terminators on the field for Brickus. These guys with Twinning Bolters and Power Fist by default, they can demoralize enemies by killing models. You might see it here on this Eldar. Avatar needs to back away. Yes, there we go. The damage those level 4 Marco Zinc CSM are doing. Banshee's moving in. War shouting him back away. Need to back away. Do not send the Avatar in there. 132, 260. He is backing off. Single cap for blue. What is this? Oh, it's the last turret. Goes down. Oh, I missed the Tornado formation. Missing all of the nukes injured, you fool. There's the remains of a Carnifex. Wraith Guard, which can get into buildings now, of course, but Ravenous can't. What's up with that? 132, 255. Manticore Strike. Oh, and the garrison completely takes down the garrison, instantly destroying the squad that's inside. What is this Avatar doing? I thought he moved it away. He's going to lose it now. And that will explode on death, which knocks down enemies, but doesn't do any damage, I don't think. He just basically handed that Avatar kill to red team there. Carnifex trying to go after this Marco Zinch Predator tank. Terminator is teleporting in with lightning claws to fight this guy. Here come a Seer Council as well, leaping into those heretics. That was nasty. That leap actually does damage, but there is the Tome of Subjugation subjugating that Seer Council, giving control of them to Brickus and actually increasing the damage that they do, but I think they're invulnerable for the duration now. Or take far less damage or something like that. So you can't kind of nuke them and stuff. 132, 236. Revenant Alpha's level 9, this guy. With a melee Revenant Alpha, that's not easy. Well, I suppose it is easy when stuff is dying left and right. Michael Corner CSM can't get him in retreats. And they're snared because they hit him there. Carnifex needs to charge away, but you can't. Oh, he can charge through that thing. Somehow. It's clear. He should be pushing forward and capping here, but he doesn't know it's clear, of course. D-cannon up for colinmark. Has another fire prism also, and a late game Wraith Lord for Unsullied. You should have just waited for an avatar, I think. 108, 236. Unsullied Seer Council almost level 2.
We have 100 points remaining. Some
capillary towers still remain from that nuke. Red team with the 2-to-1 cap. Can they see this out? They were under serious pressure. The west side is still entirely blue here. So Sataninflames and Brickus have been at quite a large disadvantage since their teammate hasn't been able to keep that west side. They haven't had that power for a while there. So on that case, they're doing really well to hold in. 82, 236. Lehman Russ on the field for Bounty Hunter. No sign of an upgrade yet. Has that front mounted las cannon, as you can see there. Really strong tanks, these guys, with an inherent 35% damage resistance. 72, 236. Maybe it's time for a bunker or two in the mid. Because Terminator's taking shots from that D cannon. And there's a singularity, I think. Will it go off though? Looks like not. Looks like they were disrupted out of it there. 67, 236. Red team pushing through mid. They should be able to at least decap this victory point, I think. Chaos Sorcerer not interested in doing so though, going east side. Because blue team are retaking it. 67, 236. Another Tornado formation that I missed. Doesn't look like it did a whole lot though. Wraith Lord backing away. The march of the Carnifexes there is. And Imperial Abyss trying to finish off that Wraith Lord, but it was in fact wasted. And this Heretic Squad has whacked, just running into the Imperial Abyss. They embracing chaos to the end there. 67, 229. Avatar with her spear. Wow, I was really hoping we'd see her with her fusion gun in tier 3, but I guess not. Another Carnifex from FiSH. Why is he not getting a Doom of Malentite? There are Terminators here. Eat them with your Doom of Malentite. And all those Chaos Space Marines are still alive as well. Another Chaos Space Marine squad for Brickus. 58, 229. That's a big mistake, I think, from FiSH. He already has 2 Carnifexes. Get a Doom of Malentite to back them up. Double Thornback as well. Doom of Malentite in behind those guys would have been awesome versus these Terminators. Plague Champion is down. Is he level 10? He's level 9. 45, 229. Rippers being annoying and tying up the Plague Maroons, and his Terminators, I should say, in serious amounts of trouble. He's going to wipe them. Who needs a Doom Malentite when Lightning Claw Terminators try to fight your Carnifexes? I mean, I'm not familiar with Brickus. Maybe he doesn't know that those Lightning Claws are power weapons and therefore are not very good versus vehicles. Maybe he doesn't know that Carnifexes are vehicles. We shouldn't always assume that a player knows everything. It's not the easiest game, not the most transparent game with its mechanics. Just Space Marines lurking for Brickus, going for Mark of Pawn at this late stage. Could backfire really badly. 24, 226. Blue team right back into this. Sataninflames does have Chaos Terminators of its own. They need some las cannons or something. We have an auto cannon here. That triple Carnifexes might be a huge pain in the arse. That was a rocket run, which seemed to hit nothing at all. Chaos Space Marines almost wiped immediately by that Seer Council. You can't send level 1 Chaos Space Marines Mark of Khorne into the Seer Council, which are level 3. Just about getting away though there. Suppressed by this Havoc squad. That Havoc squad's wiped out by Banshees level 4, and here come double Carnifexes in your face. Warlock using Providence to cap. There's the triple for red team. I think the lack of power on this side is finally catching up to them here. Or is it? I mean, they've got so much stuff on the field. Brickus in particular pretty sloppy with his stuff. Lost a Predator tank, lost his Terminators pretty badly. So they have managed to get a lot of stuff on the field despite not having that power over there. The blue team now dominating the map, and there's triple Thornback Carnifexes. Good luck with that. Chaos Terminators teleporting out have an auto cannon. They need lots and lots and lots and lots of las cannons. Otherwise, triple Carnifexes are just going to run over you, or lots of Predator tanks, but I think that's riskier. A combination of the two, perhaps. His Plague Marines are going to wipe. 24, 111. Does he just not care about his guys, or has he forgotten about them, or is he looking elsewhere? Or down they go. That was a singularity on the Ogrins. These guys done anything? They're almost level 2. Don't have. Oh, they do have their Boner Leader, sorry. It is really strangely split up there. 24, 91. Double cap for blue team. Another Avatar of Cain for colinmark. He's floating. Wreck position like a madman. Over 1,000. Has a decent amount of power as well. He could get stuff on the field here. Maybe some warp spiders to teleport in and harass and cap and generally annoy stuff. Sorry about that. Small jump cut, and there is an Eldritch Storm. That's a dead Lehman Russ, and can red team come back into this? I don't think they can. Sataninflames has basically no resources to buy anything. Brickus is power starved because this western natural power has been blue for a very long time. Ogren's just about getting away there. Carnifex does get away, being chased down by Marco Zinch CSM, but they can't do a whole lot. It's level 4. Sorcerers on reviving duty. These Chaos Space Marines trying to be very, very cheeky, and they have managed to get a 2-to-1 cap. 1963. They need to retake that VP very, very quickly. They're on thin ice with their VPs. Blue team need to be very diligent protecting their natural, but they have decapped red team's natural now. Raven Alpha now trying to cap, having dodged that Manticore strike. Warrior Brood are going to go toe-to-toe with these level 1 Mark of Khorne Chaos Space Marines, and these are level 3 Warrior Brood. Avatar chilling out in the mid. Are you going to take your VP back or what? 1963 to 1-to-1. Red team basically done for. Look at their rosters. More Havocs on the way for Sataninflames, but it's going to take a very, very sneaky ninja cap on blue team's natural. The Seer Council coming good at the end of the game. Look at this. Level 4, these guys tearing through those Chaos Terminators with grief. They went down so fast there. Here comes the Chaos Sorcerer to have a word. What level is this guy? He's level 9. The commander's getting such high levels in this game. There's a ton of formation that's going to one-shot that garrison, which is one thing that the Tyranid nuke is very, very good at. Guaranteed one-shots on all of these spires of... Hey people, injured here, 3v3, Argus Desert Gate. Blue team, couple of Eldar players first up. colinmark is a Warlock melee commander that leaps into combat some awesome disruption and mobility, can also tank damage pretty well, and has a few offensive spells there. You see Fleet. The other Eldar player is Unsullied on the opposite side of the map as a Warp Spider Exarch teleporting commander that fights range combat by default. Lots of great capping and harassing with some awesome control abilities also. And riding off the blue team is FiSH playing a Ravener Alpha tunneling commander, great mobility and some awesome offense. Starts off in range combat, little bit of support as well, can build a support structure. Red team, couple of Chaos players. First up, Brickus is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander, lots of great manipulation and control abilities. Starts off in melee combat, taking shots here from that Ravener Alpha's ranged weapon. Alongside Sataninflames is a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with this damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons some decent utility, and support can build turrets and repair, but it's very slow. And rounding off the red team is bountyhunter571 on the western lane, up against that Warlock, playing an Inquisitor. There's the Hammer of the Witches, boom. Some great control abilities. Starts off in melee combat but can get ranged weapons, a little bit of support as well. Now chasing down that Warlock. Here come Howling Banshees. She needs to be careful, as does that Warlock. And now Banshee's on her. That's a good special attack. She should use that to back away, but she's not. She's in massive amounts of trouble. She's going to go down. No way she's getting out of there. Special attack just to make sure. And down goes the Inquisitor in first engagement. Sloppy play from Bounty Hunter. A bit too aggressive with their Inquisitor there. East side, meanwhile, blue team have pushed back the reds because Sataninflames was mid, but now is coming in to help out. Heretic